Hello Internet, hello and welcome to this video. Today I want to discuss patch 6.78. I've got a friend on and he knows a lot more about the game than I do. Like, I'm awful, he's not. He's actually pretty good. At least that's what he told me. And yeah. So we're gonna go through the most important changes in the patch and talk a bit about those. We're not gonna go into everything, like we don't want to talk about the blur evasion increase to 40%. That's not really all that relevant, is it?
No, not really. Pretty slight. Doesn't. No one cares about that.
Yeah, nobody does. So, we got a nice list of a few things we want to talk about, and we're gonna start off with Bloodseeker. So, Bloodseeker's ultimate now is straight up HP loss as opposed to any sort of damage. Do you think this is gonna make him viable? Do you think this is gonna make him incredibly powerful? What's up?
I don't think it's going to make him overpowered at all. I just think it's a pretty situational pick against some heroes who need a BKB and rely on their mobility, like Luna because she has very poor range. Gyrocopter won't really care since he just stands in the middle of the fight and uses flag cannon, but we'll
Against
see if it's viable.
melee carries, I can see this being very powerful, like anti-mage.
Anti-mage, I don't think it's that great. And against Nix, it could be really good.
No, of course.
Yeah, overall, melee carries, that could hurt them quite a lot.
So do you think we're gonna see Bloodseeker picked as kind of a counter pick to those carries, or is he gonna be picked up on its own as well?
I think he's going to be a counter pick. I don't think he's that good to yeah, accomplish much on his own.
Okay. And if we see him, what you gonna think he's gonna be played as a carry, as more of a supporter, as like what role?
That's tough. That's really tough. I think he could be a mid laner. Like, I don't see him in the one position farming up, getting the big items because he's not that great as a carry. Maybe a support would be really awkward though. I think mid is his lane to go when he's getting picked up.
Okay then. So let's move on. We've got Clockwerk. This is just something very simple, but the power cogs no longer knock back magic immune units. This is definitely noteworthy, but is there a whole lot to say about this? I think it's pretty obvious what they're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, well-deserved nerf to Clockwork. Just way too good against BKB, magic units at all. Yeah, pretty
Okay.
good.
Okay, I also want to quickly go into Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden, the aura mana region increased from 0.5 to 1 at level 1. Do you think this is gonna make a big difference? Or do you think we're gonna see her now because of this nerf? Buff. Sorry.
Yeah, so the Brilliance Aura is pretty good in level 1 now, since she gets the double mana region from it, so she gets 2 mana per second on level 1. So it's really worth it to get it on level 1 on, I don't know, if she is level 2 or 3 even, so she can spam her spells even more frequently. I don't think it's gonna make her really viable, because she's still not good as a hero.
Okay.
Like the other buffs, Freezing Field, Explosion AoE, and Aghanim Scepter. I mean, no one gets Aghanim Scepter on Crystal Maiden, like, ever, except for in publics when she's really fed, but nah, I don't think it's gonna make any difference.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing with the Ancient Apparition, where, yeah, the Aghanims is nice, but then again, who
Yeah,
manages to get that much money on a support?
yeah, and still you could get, for that amount of money, you could get way better items, I think.
Yeah.
Of course, if you hit the nice players, like 17 seconds duration, it's nice, but
Okay then, Dazzle. The Shadow Wave target count increased and Shallow Grave can now be cast on magic immune allies.
yeah, I'm really happy about this buff. Dazzle, one of my favorite heroes. Shadow Weave, you could use it in some pocket strats, I think, because it deals crazy amount of damage. If you have like an illusion-based hero like Naga Siren, who just gets around the hero, use Shadow Weave, it deals tons of damage.
Hmm.
And of course the Shadow Grave, great buff overall. They could have done this like years ago to Shadowgrave, but hey, it's finally there. I'm happy.
And you think we're gonna see him now? Do you think we're gonna see him picked up competitively?
Occasionally. I think we will see him sometimes.
And on what occasions? Is there like any certain thing that...
I'm not quite sure. I don't think... Maybe on push strats with a kind of semi-carry, like he was picked up 2 years ago with Viper, because Viper was just standing in the fight, tanking everything up, dealing tons of damage, and then gets the grave, and then dies. Not on the hard carries who don't want to die in fights. Like Viper would just grave and not run, but just stay there and tank the shit. But or in really late game strats where you have a hard carry and late game really excels in the late game with his really good ultimate and his grave, of course.
Okay then. So more for late game support.
Yeah.
Then we've got Doombringer. Now this is a big one. People have already been bitching about this one. Doom now disables a lot of passives, and also he added an Aghanim Scepter, which Doom doesn't tick down if the target is within 550 range of Doom. What do you think about this one? I already hate it.
I think the biggest thing about this one is not the Aghanim's upgrade, but the disables on the passives. Like Nix, Void, Spectre, as well as Phantom Lancer will hurt them quite a lot. Like Spectre's Dispersion is her only good skill, and it reduces 25% of incoming damage. If that's gone, she's way less tanky. Like Phantom Lancer is quite hard to hit with Doom. Like you really don't want to hit an illusion and look like a fool. So
yeah.
But for Nix, it's a really big deal since he's almost completely useless. Without Feast, he doesn't deal any damage. And Backtrack, also quite nice to have if that's gone. The Aghanim Scepter upgrade, not that big of a deal. At least I think it's not, because Doom lasts for 15 seconds. If you can't kill the guy in 15 seconds, I don't think you need much more. You won't get him if he's still on after the 15 seconds. You should really get him in that time. And with Aghanims you have 16 seconds and a lot of damage added. Like a lot of people want to build the race car Doom with maximum movement speed, and just run behind the guy until he's dead from Doom. But I think it could be quite funny in publics, but not really gonna matter in competitive gaming.
But the Doom now disabling the passives, that will matter. So
that will matter. That will matter a lot. Like he's picked occasionally now. Maybe he's gonna be I won't say first pick, but he could be very viable and picked very, very often, I think. We'll see.
But this is yet again another hero that got a buff to counter those strong carries like Nix and Phantom Lancer.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, they really want to nerf those, I guess, without directly nerfing them. Which is not even true, they nerfed them directly, but we're gonna get to that later. Then we got Dragonite. Corrosive Breath passive from level 1, Elder Form now carries on to level 2. That's more like something that should have been in the game, right?
Yeah, 4 years ago they could have done that. Now it's finally okay to get to the level 2 ult.
Do you know if the passive, the dot, right, applies to all targets hit? Because the level 2 form is Splash, right?
No, that doesn't hit. Just the main target. If it would hit everything, it would be like the level 16 ult, which slows everyone already, so no, just the main target.
Okay then. Well, the Earthshaker, another hero that got a cool buff. Echo Slam now considers illusions as heroes, as well as a few other minor things. So, my guess is this is just supposed to annoy Phantom Lancer.
Yeah, basically, straight up, showing the finger to Phantom Lancer, yeah. The turn rate improved and visual range improved are nice. Not gonna matter that much. The Echo Slam will deal now tons of damage against Phantom Lancer and all his buddies, so could be a situational pick against him. He's quick picked not that often right now, but we could see him more frequently.
But yet again, he's just a counter to Phantom Lancer.
Yeah, he's just a counter, so I don't think he's gonna be like in the first pick phase, straight up picking Earthshaker. You see, they don't see that quite often. The agents like him, Europeans don't. We'll see.
Okay then. Well, Enigma, the Manifest scaling reworked. So the old Manifest had 1 stun at level 1, and then 2, and then number 2, no, and then 3 at level 4. New Manifest stuns 3 times at all levels, but the stun duration increases per level. What do you think about this one?
Great buff. Really great buff. The old stun on level 1 was almost completely useless. Even though it doesn't stun that long now, only 0.75 seconds on level 1, it stuns 3 times, so you could get more hits off when you're chasing. Great buff. Maybe we will see this hero quite frequently now.
But isn't he already picked, like, from time to time? The ultimate is just really, really strong.
Yeah, he fell off quite a lot in the last
did he?
2 months. Yeah, he was picked, like I can only recall, he was picked 3 times, I think, in the last 2 months. We could see a comeback from Enigma. Surely this is a great buff.
Okay. Well, another rework, Huskar. A few increases in strength and burning spare TPS and life break HP cost, but also the Berserker's Blood got reworked. So now Huskar doesn't deal more damage per hit, per 7% missing health. Instead, he gains more magic resistance. And he also gains more attack speed than he previously did. What do you think about this one? I personally think... Okay, no, this is just my noobish opinion. Tell me if I'm wrong. But I think this is supposed to make him more reliant on the Burning Spear, as they also increase that DPS, and they want to stop him from just being that regular right-click carry and make him that Burning Spear right-click carry.
Yeah, they really want to use him to use that. Like, normally you just skill him once to orb walk and harass on the lane and never use him again until you get lifesteal, when you get lifesteal. But now we could see the Burning Spear speed on Huskar. The attack speed buff is really big, I think. 20 attack speed per stack. That's quite a lot. Like, he doesn't need to build those tanky items anymore, like hard, since he got so much magic resistance. So you can just get damage items early on, maybe after Armlet or BKB, and he will deal tons of damage because of his enormous attack speed.
Okay then. Now he got removed from Captain's mode. Assuming that wasn't the case, do you think he would be picked up with this change?
Maybe the teams would probably test him in scrims, but I don't think in official games, no.
Okay, it's just too new, I guess.
Yeah, and he doesn't bring that much to the table.
If you had to play Huskar with this change, right, what items would you buy? What would you build?
I would still get Armlet, pretty sure. I wouldn't build Lifesteal, I think. I would just get Armlet, BKB if the enemy team has good disables, and then maybe straight up Daedalus or more situational items to have in Salbert that could make him really tanky. And with Burning Spears, he will already deal a lot of damage. So I think this is way more interesting than the old Huskar, where you had like the standard item build. Everyone builds Armlet into Lifesteal, and everyone had the same skill build. This is quite interesting. I like the change.
Okay then. Well, next up is the Lone Druid. Spirit Bear now has its HP drained by Armlet when active, and Spirit Bear bounty increased from 100 to 300. So getting a kill on that Spirit Bear is now almost worth... Actually, it's worth more than a hero kill.
Like, yeah, it's really, really good. Since normally when you send the Spirit Bear to pull the lane, if you're off lane, the support will hunt him. And now they will hunt him. They will use even more of their mana to kill him, because it's really worth it. 300 gold, that's really a lot for a support. Like, that's almost boots or a flying courier upgrade at minute 1.
And do you think because of that we might see less off-lane Lone Druid, or is that not going to have an impact on that?
Maybe. I don't think the hero is still really strong. Will still get picked. I even think Armlet is still viable on the hero, because you can still toggle it, switching it on and off. situational though, not the brainless pickup of armlet every time. Like if you want more of a farm build, you just get Maelstrom because you can't just leave the armlet on and farm the jungle like crazy. Um, but we will still see the armlet, I think. It's overall a great nerf to Lone Druid and well deserved.
And what happened to the Radiance build on a Lone Druid? Like, that was very popular ages ago, and now they even nerfed. No, they didn't nerf, they buffed the
They
Radiance.
buffed Radiance quite a little bit. I still don't think it's that good. Like, very situational build, only if you have really good farm. And Radiance, I think the problem with Radiance is that you need this 3,800 gold item to build it. With smaller components, this item would be really good, and with that item build, I don't think it's gonna be picked up frequently. Just
I
not good.
I saw an interesting opinion about that on the forums once, where somebody was like, why do we have to buy that big item? Why can't we buy the cheaper damage item, the 2400 damage item for the Radiance, and still have the same upgrade and maybe deals a little bit less damage? Do you think that would be like an interesting change to see? Or?
That would be interesting, but I think you would need to increase then the receipt cost by quite a lot, but it still would be better, even if it deals less damage, if it gives less damage. But the burn is you don't get Radiance for the plus 60 damage. I think it gives you'd get it for the burn damage. So that would make it better. I think it would really make it better.
Yeah, but currently it's not viable.
Not really. Very situational, and I don't like it at all.
Okay then. Then we got Magneton. So, Magnus. What does he do now? Why is he so weak? Because he deals 100 less damage? Is it really a big deal?
Only in the early game. Like, he's still a beast in team fights later on. Because reverse polarity is just that good of a spell, but his solo killing potential is quite weaker now. Especially in mid lane against low HP mid heroes like Storm Spirit. It's really good it's really a good nerf. Could be a bit more in my opinion, like Shockwave, the numbers a bit tweaked on cooldown and maybe range, but hey, I'm happy Magnus buff nerf is there.
Yeah, it's kind of necessary. You see him almost every game. Well, Medusa. No, another rework. The new Stone Gaze. Well, I don't really get this ability yet because it's rather weird, but you activate it and it lasts for 6 seconds. If an enemy faces you for 2 seconds, they will get stunned for 3 seconds. They will have 100% magic resistance, but they take extra damage from physical attacks. So, what do you think about this one? I don't really have an opinion on it because I think it's so weird.
I think it would be really strong. The hero is removed from Captain's mode, of course, with that change, because it's a rather huge change. The old Stone Gaze used to purge heroes as well, and destroying summoned units and illusions. It still kills illusions, but that would be still a big deal. Like if you didn't kill illusions, that spell would be a lot weaker. It doesn't kill summoned units anymore. That's not that big of a deal. I think this skill is really good. Like really good. Like the old one, quite okay, but this one this hero could see play again. I hope not, because I think this hero is really boring, and no one wants to see this hero in play. But this ultimate is really good. Like if you get stunned, the 100% magic resistance could sometimes fuck up your team because no one deals damage except for you. But well, in the late game, that doesn't really matter. Like if they get this amplified damage from physical attacks, they will just melt. Medusa is just that strong in the late game.
Okay. Well, you wanted to talk about Meepo? The innate magic resistance increased from 25 to 35%?
Yeah, the Meepo buff. I'm happy he got one. I think this is a really good buff on him, because he suffers quite a lot from this AoE-based spell casters, like Lina, Magnus, all those kind of stuff. It's great. I think they could have done it a little bit different in just adding 5% magic resistance per point you level up an ult in his ultimate, because now he's the only hero who has 35% magic resistance on level 1, and I don't think that. I think they will. I actually think they will change it to his ultimate. I'm not quite sure, but I hope so because he falls out a bit. But I think it's a great change overall. I like it.
Yeah, he's now an inconsistency in the game for.
Yeah, exactly, and that's
Yeah.
not really what you want.
Yeah, of course not. Well, here we go with another really big one, the Necrolyte. If a unit dies under Reaper's Skite, it will be credited to Necrolyte, and Aghanim's Reaper's Skite causes buyback to be disabled on heroes it kills for that death. So, are we gonna see Necrolyte every game with Aghanims? Every game?
Not every game. No, I don't think he's like your every game hero, which can be used in every situation. But I really think we will see him. Like this, he got buffed in the other patch half a year ago. Really good with his really good passive now, and that he gets the kill now every time he uses the ultimate is really good for him since his passive triggers every time he gets a kill, he kills a creep or a hero, and the regen you get on both HP and mana when you kill a hero is really good. Like you get about 600 mana out of that. Awesome. And the Aghanims, I don't think Aghanims will be the first item you get, maybe the third, maybe the fourth, because in the late game, if you kill the carry and he can't buy back, that's basically GG. So we could really see Necrolyte.
But do you think that he will be picked up exclusively for the Aghanims? So, again, to counter those hard carries.
Maybe. Like he's also really good in the push strat, which is not that favorable right now, but we will see. I'm not quite sure what his role is going to be.
Okay. Okay then. Well, we got another Aghanim Scepter. They really like Aghanim Scepter, don't they? Omniknight. Guardian Angel AoE becomes global and affects buildings. Now, I thought this wasn't too big of a deal, but you proved me wrong, so go ahead and prove everybody wrong.
Yeah, so I think the main problem for Omniknight is really in the later stages of the game his positioning. He has to stand right in the fight to get everyone on his team into Guardian Angel. Now he can just repel one, stand back and just cast his Guardian Angel when it's the right time. That's quite big, and also it's a 7-second glyph for your buildings. That's pretty nice. Like the region, yeah, quite good on buildings, not that big of a deal, but a 7-second glyph added to your 5-second glyph, that could really make up for some interesting strats. Like I think his place would be solo mid laner again. He was on that role like 2 years ago, 1.5 years ago. He was picked quite frequently. I think we could see Omniknight again in competitive play.
And you already said that solo mid lane. You think we're gonna see him as more of a carry style then, or?
No, I think he's going to build a universal hero utility with utility items like mechanism, arcane boots, and then the Aghanims. Or pipe for that matter, for mechanism, depending on the enemy lineup. I think that would be his item build.
But Aghanims every game.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay then. Well, what's the next on the list? Where are we? I lost track. Well, let's just go further down here. Oh, Shadow Fiend. Yeah, here we are. So, Shadow Fiend Requiem of Soul slow rescale to 20% and Requiem of Soul damage reduction increase to 50%. This is a very powerful team fighting ability now, as it decreases the damage of the enemy team by 50% for 5 seconds. And since that AoE on that ability is just so gigantic, and I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna get hit by it every fight. Do you think there's gonna be a huge deal?
I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, but I think it could be enough to make him a really good pickup. Like he's picked occasionally now and then, but this could really, yeah, make him really popular again.
Okay. Well, I always liked seeing Shadow Fiend. He's definitely a fun
Yeah,
hero to
great
watch.
hero to see.
Yeah, he's cool. He's also got that, like, yeah, it's Shadow Fiend. Come on, if you think of a Dota hero, it's Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend.
Definitely.
Well, Skeleton King. Reincarnation slow, no effects. Attack speed as well. Reincarnation slow happens immediately upon death rather than after reincarnating. And the rework on the critical strike, which is now a life. Well, I suppose you could call it a lifesteal. It's more like an HP drain, but
yeah, life drain, life steal. It's actually quite good. I think like you can crit for the 7-second drain duration. Not that big of a deal. The HP you get, you will most likely lose instantly because you will get hit in fights. And that's the point. I mean, you don't want to waste that. You will lose it after 7 seconds anyway. This could really, I think this is great. Like the hero with 3 passives, pretty boring to play in my opinion. Makes up for some interesting things on Skeleton King, but it's still Skeleton King. Like he won't be the next Phantom Lancer. The reincarnation I want to talk really quick about is that it's really great that the reincarnation slow happens when he dies and not when he reincarnates, because you can run away from him now when he reincarnates. Like he dies and after 3 seconds respawns, or 2 seconds, and then he slows. Like you would be far away already and he wouldn't be able to catch up. That's really good.
okay. But about that passive, no, or well, I suppose active passive hybrid, because if you activate it, you lose the passive. Do you think you like? What do you do? Like, is that really much of a choice? Do you always?
I think you want to use it.
You want to use it.
I'm pretty sure. Like you drain 20% of max HP. That's about 1 crit, right? Yeah, like Skeleton King hits really hard in the later stages of the game. On supports, of course, you would do way more than 20%, but it makes him more like tanky style hero with this HP drain. I think it's worth it to use it, but maybe not every time. I'm not quite sure. I have to see it in game.
Okay, well, cool. So next up, Spirit Breaker. I didn't consider this to be a big deal, but you did. So tell me.
Yeah, the big deal is that the Greater Bash, the charge now applies Greater Bash to the target he charges. And the difference is between a normal bash and a Greater Bash is that Greater Bash deals 40% of his movement speed as damage, as magic damage, and the Charge of Darkness gives him on level 4 750 movement speed. So he deals about 300 damage with his bash alone. That's really a big deal early game, considering he never had like a nuke except for his ultimate maybe. So that makes him a lot stronger as a ganker, I think.
Okay.
Really cool.
But it's still not enough to get picked up competitively.
No, not at all. He's still like he can only focus one guy at a time. Not very mobile in fights, except for his one ultimate, which he probably wants to use on the one guy he's focusing already. So no. But one thing we forgot to mention: the Lifestealer nerf.
Oh yes, we did. Oh, I must have. Yeah. Okay. Well, talk. Lifestealer.
Yeah, really big nerf for him. I think this is like probably the biggest nerf in the patch, because
it's not even orange.
Yeah, they didn't want to mention it. That is pretty underground. No, like 200 range on level 1 means many things. He can't initiate on tri-lanes anymore. Like he needs to be really close. He can do it against melee heroes, but that doesn't happen that often. So he needs a setup, right? So
yes.
to get in cast range. The other thing is he needs to level the spell up to get more range on it. So you can't max Feast second to rage now. So he will also deal less damage. This will hurt his early game quite a lot, where he's of course really strong, or was really strong before. So I think this is quite a huge deal for Lifestealer.
And is it gonna be enough to put him like into, well, not first pick material? Or is he still...
Yes, I don't think he's first pick material anymore. He
Oh,
will still be picked, of course, because he's still a great hero, but I don't think he will be first pick.
okay then. Well, now we've got a few item changes. The biggest one, of course, being BKB. BKB now can go down to 4-second duration and 50-second cooldown. 4 seconds on BKB really is not a lot. So, does this mean we're gonna see a lot more Lincolns now, or what's up with that?
No, I don't think Lincolns would be like a good second option for Black Kingbar. Black Kingbar still will be picked up, of course, quite a lot, but this is a huge nerf. Since you can just sell it for half the price and buy a new one, you probably, in the late game when you have like tons of money, you can just destroy it or put it on the ground and buy a new one. But maybe you don't want to get BKB that early now, because later on it will be almost useless with 4-second duration. So you don't want to get it before the 30-minute mark. That could be an option. Like, this is really interesting, and we have to see how it plays out.
Okay, then we also got Bloodstone, which the best thread, Medusa and 4 heroes with a Bloodstone. And all the Bloodstone heroes do is run in and kill themselves whenever Medusa is on low HP. This is gonna be elite strat, new metagame, I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, you heard it here first, guys.
Yeah.
This is a really interesting ability on Bloodstone now. I'm not too sure how it will phase out, but hey, it's quite funny, and I think you could do some pocket strats with it. I'm not too sure, but hey, we will see.
Do you think there's... Okay, no. I saw this and I'm like, yeah, that's funny. But no, seriously, what do I do with that? Like, is there anything, any strategy other than my Medusa lead strat that's gonna be in the new metagame that you can come up with where you would legitimately pick up a Bloodstone because of this change?
No, not really. Like, the only way I see it is if you have a Bloodstone already and your teammate is about to die and you know you will be dying as well. Right after he dies, you may just want to sacrifice yourself if you're like not the biggest impact hero in the game. Like if he's the carry and you're like, I don't know, Lashrak or Crowell or Death Prophet for that matter, you may want to sacrifice yourself to give him the chance to escape. That's the only way, other than of course your elite Medusa strat, to see this in game.
By the way, I just came up with another amazing strategy. You buy this on Storm Spirit, which you do anyways, right? That's a good item to get on a hero. At least what I like.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And now this is how you use it. You sit in a well, and you then use your ultimate to ruffle into the enemies, like from half the map away. You go in there, you nuke them with the ultimate that now traveled half the map, deal them as much damage as possible with just that ultimate. Now you're out of mana, so you're useless. You kill yourself and heal your team.
Yeah, and then you have enough Bloodstone charges to respawn instantly and get back into the fight.
Yes, and you do it again and again and again. You just need to get like 600 charges on that thing and you are set. I'm amazing. I should be competitive. A captain. I got the best strats. So, talking about captains, we also got a slight change to captain's mode. You wanted to say something about it, so go ahead.
Yeah, I think the most interesting change to this is you now have 3 ban stages and 3 pick stages. 2 picks, then 2 bans, then 2 picks, then 2 bans, then 2 picks, then 1 ban and 1 pick. And I want to talk about the last pick. Like, if you have 4 heroes on your team already, and the enemy has 4, you know what the enemy is missing, right? You know, if they're missing a mid laner or a support, you could really get the high impact bans out with the last ban, and they have to, well, pick the second best, and nobody really wants the second best thing. So I think this is a really, really nice change, and we could see a lot more emphasis on the pick and bans, even more now. Like,
okay then.
More tactics.
Yeah, that's cool. So I think we are done. We have talked about everything we wanted to talk about, right? I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay, well, this was actually a bit longer than I expected it to be. But whatever. Whatever. It's a lot of stuff in this patch. There's a lot of stuff in that patch. I still hate them for swapping a hero that you randomed now costs you 100 gold. Stop
I
it.
don't like it as well because I'm the guy that always randoms instantly.
Yeah, me too.
But I think it's okay. Like, I understand the reason behind it.
Yeah, I do understand the reasoning behind it. Doesn't mean I like it.
Yeah,
but I do
yeah,
know
same,
what
yeah.
you're trying to achieve with it, so... Oh well, okay, I think we are done. Any last words?
Yeah, I think this will be a very interesting version, and I'm really excited for it. I hope it comes out next week.
Yes, I heard that it is supposed to be in the international free, so of course it's gonna come out pretty soon. At least that's what I expect.
Yeah, it will definitely be before the international.
Yeah. Which I'm just super excited for that. Okay then, so hope everybody enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to leave a rating on the video. And, well, I guess, see you tomorrow. Bye.